factor is diversity in your mind in this search?
Hire best coach. Bring me a green, blue, yellow, black, white. I don't care. Best coach. I will not hire somebody for some reason, but I'll hire the best coach that we think is possible.
The
And
list that Eddie may have for you guys is maybe similar list to a lot of other schools. How do you gauge speed with they may take our coach before we take him? Do you monitor that?
yeah, we always watch that, and Georgia Tech is open. And I'm sure they're looking. I don't know if they've made a decision today. I haven't followed it in the last 2 hours, but Georgia Tech is open. Stanford hired their coach. So, we'll keep an eye on it. And, I think that what you'll find is there are people, the other side of this, and obviously you don't have any idea, and I don't have any idea of who all of those people are, but there are coaches out there that are trying to gauge that same thing. They're trying to figure out, do I have a chance at Vanderbilt before I take the interview at State U? And so it is a sort of a mating sort of situation. We got to move efficiently. We can't just sit around here, and we won't, and we have already started that. But I'm not going to really worry about what's happening somewhere else. We'll play it in our time, and we'll get a good basketball coach.
What number, if any, do you anticipate in terms of formal interviews? 3, 5, 2?
Yeah, when you say a formal interview, I mean, there's by saying formal interview, that would suggest there may be informal interviews. And what's an informal interview? If I happen to be at the Final Four, is that a formal interview? Is that an informal interview? When you get down to formal, if you talk about, okay, you are a serious candidate, and we're going to bring you in, we're going to meet you somewhere to talk to a few people, and like I said, the chancellor would be involved and some others, I would probably say you're probably not looking at more than 5 or 6.
So who gets the final say of the coach, who the coach is, or who has veto power in that?
And we kind of just all sit around and at the same time come up with, this is the one.
You and the chancellor too?
Well, me and the chancellor, and we'll talk about if anybody else should be in there, but right now it's the chancellor. Let's put it that way, the chancellor and me, not me and the chancellor. The chancellor, he's the boss.
Well, if you get down to your final couple of guys and it becomes like a money issue, one guy demands more than the other, will money be an issue in this? Can it be an issue? You prepared to spend as much as it takes?
Well, I'm not going to answer that in the affirmative. I'll just be giving my hand away. We will hire a good basketball coach, and we are prepared to do what we think is necessary.
For fans that sit there and say and look at money and say Vanderbilt doesn't pay coaches, true or untrue for fans that say that, what would your response be?
They know more than me then. I mean, I don't know how they know that, because we don't release those salaries. And guess what? I know exactly what we pay them, and guess what? I know exactly what everybody else pays. So I know where we fit, and I got members of my staff here who know that. And so I think that fans that believe we don't pay market, keep believing it. It ain't true.
David, we don't know your contract situation for the same reason.
Mm-hmm.
Can you go out and search and hire a coach with the understanding that I'm here long term for you?
You mean, am I here long?
Are you here long term for your new coach?
Oh. I mean, I don't know how to answer that in the sense that I plan to be here. I mean, but I'm not going to take another job and go anywhere. But a lot of that has to do with people above me. One, my boss. There's a supreme being that might have some issues for me. I don't know. I mean, my staff might revolt and drag me out and beat me or something. I don't know. But I'm not planning to go anywhere. So, yeah, I'm planning to be here.
David, you said fans are entitled to their opinion in terms of whether it's time for a change. What's your opinion on that? I mean, is this a sad couple of days for you to see Kevin go, or are you happy for him to move on to a new chapter and a new chapter for Vanderbilt basketball?
I'm happy for Kevin if that's what Kevin wanted to do, and Kevin had indicated it was a job he was interested in, so I'm happy for him. I think, like I said, I know Kevin ran an extremely clean program, and that's very important to us. I think he was a successful coach, but I do think, at time, it's time. And I think that he felt it was a good time to make that move. As you said, some of the fans felt that way. You always have a sense of sadness when you see somebody that's part of your family leaving. And Kevin and his family were part of our family. However, I do understand the business part of this, and our job is to provide a good basketball coach. And so, Kevin's not the first coach that's left, and I'm sure he won't be the last. And we will go on and we'll find a good basketball coach. But as far as I'm concerned, Kevin Stallings put in 17 years here, and that will not be forgotten and should not be forgotten.
David, as far as the team's going now, who's kind of running things, making sure everything's going all right?
Well, we still have all of our assistant coaches here, and I'll be meeting with them directly after this. We have our sports administrator, we have our strength coaches, we have our academic, everybody's still over there. I don't know if Kevin is thinking about offering any of those coaches. Like I said, I'll talk to them right after this, but they're basically mending the ship, and then all of us are around.
Can you also confirm there's a report that Wade Baldwin planned to declare for the NBA draft?
Wade was in the meeting a few minutes ago. Wade had a number of questions, and Wade is enrolled in classes and is attending classes.
You said you had never said anything to the contrary about Kevin returning. Will Melanie return? We don't know her contract situation. Have you decided, or is there a decision?
Melanie is under contract.
Does being a consultant eliminate that person from being a candidate?
You mean, is Eddie a candidate to coach?
Yes, sir.
No. I hadn't even thought about that.
David,
What was the process between you and Kevin when he told you that he was receiving the job? Was there an effort to try and retain him as basketball coach here, or no?
We had already gone through discussions about, was this something he wanted to do? So when he called me to tell me that, it was not, I'm thinking about it, this was a decision he had made. And so he was calling to tell me I have been offered the job, and I think I am going to take it. So no, there was not, well, what if? I mean, he had made that decision.